Chapter 10. Ms. Nicholson, nice to meet you. How can I help you? Dustin's eyes widened when he saw Dahlia walking toward him, but his gaze turned cold in a moment. What a coincidence seeing you here. Dahlia choked back the speech she had prepared to explain herself and greeted Dustin stiffly. She did not believe it when her mother told her of Dustin's new love interest. Who would have thought that it was true? Although they were divorced, Dahlia felt a little uncomfortable seeing her ex-husband being with another woman. There was an awkward and uneasy feeling in her heart. Mr. Rhys, is she a friend of yours? Natasha sized Dahlia up. According to her female intuition, she could detect a hint of hostility from this woman standing before them. She's my ex-wife, Dustin replied. Really? Natasha raised her eyebrows and gave Dahlia a charming smile. Hi, I'm Natasha Harmon. Nice to meet you. She stretched out her hand to shake Dahlia's. Although her actions seemed friendly enough, the atmosphere around her was slightly intimidating. Nice to meet you, Ms. Harmon, Dahlia answered politely. Although she was usually very self-assured, she had to admit that the woman before her was stunning. Natasha was on par with her in looks, height, and conduct. Furthermore, Natasha's figure was much more voluptuous than hers. Any man would be enamored by her. Dustin, when did you befriend Ms. Harmon? You've never introduced me. Dahlia couldn't help but ask. Were you ever interested in my friends? Dustin replied sarcastically. His sharp words rendered Dahlia speechless. She had never expected Dustin to be so direct. The atmosphere around the three of them grew tense. Dustin, can I have a word with you? Dahlia tried after a few seconds of silence. About what? Dustin retorted with a poker face. It's about something private, let's go elsewhere. Dahlia turned to find a quiet corner, but she realized Dustin didn't move an inch. Her brows furrowed with frustration. Let's talk about it here and now. I don't want another misunderstanding, Dustin insisted. Must you be so difficult? Dahlia frowned. She was trying to make peace with him, but Dustin seemed to not be having any of it. He was being mean and talking down to her in a disagreeable manner. Ms. Nicholson, we're already divorced. Since your status is of such a high rank, it is better for us to not be seen together. I would only embarrass you. Dustin scoffed. I don't understand. Why are you being such a jerk? Dahlia was getting annoyed. Are you seriously asking me? Dustin stared back at her. Wasn't this your choice? Dahlia couldn't say a word in retaliation. Yes, she did initiate the divorce. However, there was no need to keep bringing up the past. Despite her struggle to calm herself down, Dahlia could feel resentment rising within her. Seeing Dustin with another woman triggered her frustration and anger. These feelings became more and more intense as their fight escalated. Dustin, I know you despise me. Nevertheless, I don't think I've made a mistake. Besides, I've given you many chances to redeem yourself. Dahlia's tone turned icy. It was not easy for her to reconcile with others, given her prideful nature. Moreover, Dustin threw it in her face. So you mean that I'm still in the wrong? Dustin could only laugh. I'm not in the mood to argue with you as we are irrelevant now. Having said that, you shouldn't be flaunting your new partner in front of me if you have any respect for me as your ex-wife. Dahlia said gravely. Respect. Dustin laughed harder. How about Chris, then? Even before we got divorced, you were already having an affair with him. How could you even demand respect? Regardless of whether you believe me, I'm innocent and my conscience is clear, Dahlia retorted, her head held high. Is that so? Dustin smirked and pointed at Chris, who was walking toward them. I would like to have a look at that clear conscience of yours. Both of them had been fooling around in bed. Now, they were even at the charity dinner together. What a joke for her to claim that she was innocent. Dahlia frowned slightly, but she did not explain herself. First, there was nothing to explain. Second, Dustin wouldn't believe her anyway. Dahlia, we were having a conversation just now. Why did you slip away? Chris said to her with a smile. Out of the corner of his eye, he noticed Natasha. Chris was astounded when he saw her alluring beauty. Desire burned in his eyes as his breathing quickened. What a gorgeous woman. He had never seen such an extraordinary lady in his life. If Dahlia was like water, Natasha was like a burning flame. She could arouse the desires of men with her sultry gaze, without even moving a muscle. Natasha was a natural seductress. Sneaking a few glances at Natasha, he quickly diverted his gaze. He knew that it was unbecoming of a man to make his intentions known so early, especially in the presence of such dazzling women. Making a first good impression was extremely important. Dustin, what a surprise to see you. Chris turned to Dustin with a frown. Chris was green with envy when he saw Natasha being so friendly to Dustin. How could this punk be surrounded by hotties all the time? After getting a divorce from Dahlia, here he was with another attractive woman on his arm. Was he blessed with lady luck? Why would it be a surprise to see me? Dustin retorted. I've heard from Dahlia that you were just an errand boy at the Quine Group. With your status, you have no right to enter the Mirage. Were you planning to sneak in? Chris narrowed his eyes. Don't you worry about it, it's none of your business, Dustin said calmly. I must have guessed correctly. Chris smirked and turned to Natasha. Don't be deceived by him, gorgeous. Dustin is not some rich scion but a lowly pauper. He has no right to be breathing the same air as you, gorgeous. In Chris's mind, Dustin must have lied to the beautiful lady. Why would she be together with a useless guy like him otherwise? What's wrong with that? It's fine as long as I like him. Natasha chuckled. Gorgeous, with your beauty and looks, you can definitely marry into a wealthy family. Why would you choose to live a difficult life with him? Chris replied, puzzled. Wealth means very little to me. In my eyes, Dustin is an outstanding man. Natasha slipped her arm into Dustin's naturally. Outstanding. Chris laughed mockingly. He doesn't have wealth, fame, or power. How could he be regarded as outstanding? At the very least, he is more handsome than you. Natasha snapped. What's the use of a handsome face? In the end, he is just a boy toy. Chris's expression darkened. I have warned you, Dustin is a conman. You are going to regret it once he takes advantage of your wealth and body. Take advantage of me? Natasha laughed merrily. I do hope that he will take advantage of me, but it seems that he isn't interested. Her bold words made Dahlia and Chris frown in disapproval. Even Dustin couldn't take it any longer. This woman was really a shameless flirt.